Everything is
I can order it up by tomorrow.
Instant gratification.
Buy now, pay later is all out there.
There is no Klarna option
I
for
hate
your
to
real
say it.
estate success.
Yeah, I think the Klarna option.
Welcome to the iBuyer experiment. We are so excited to be with you guys here today. As always, we have a lot of really cool content. We have a Reddit story, 7 ways to go broke, and some other really juicy, interesting topics. But first of all, I want to just kind of go off scripts here and say Merry Christmas, right? We're just
Merry
a few
Christmas.
days away from Christmas.
5 days.
Yep.
Man, it's quick.
I know. Are you guys ready?
No.
No.
It doesn't even feel like it.
We haven't even
Just
started
because I
yet.
haven't thought about it.
I know, right? Me too.
I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, thanks for reminding me all the shopping I haven't done.
Dude, I ordered several things online, and like I have gotten at least 3 emails from notices from things I ordered. We're very busy, and we still intend to get this to you before Christmas.
Yikes.
But I'm like, oh boy.
Well, that means you just have to still wrap a present and just put an IOU.
Yes.
So
I've done that.
One of the things they won't hear this, and it'll be out anyways. So one of the things that Carly and I are going to get the kids is a PS5, and she was like, "Can we go get it in the store?"
No.
I'm like, "No, you have to order." I'm like, "Well, guess what? We're just going to wrap it in a really big box and say it'll be here soon." She goes, "We're not doing that." She's like, "I don't want to do that." I was like, "Too bad. That's what we're
You have
doing."
no choice.
That's like, too bad. That's what we're doing.
Unless you want to highly overpay for one.
Hell no.
Yeah.
They're overpriced as it is.
Exactly.
What is it? What does
different-
PS5 go for these days?
I think it $500.
No, I think it's 600, but if you can find someone like on eBay or I'm sure probably a Facebook marketplace, and for a simple price tag of 800 to 1,000, you can have one today.
Oh my
I know.
goodness.
Well, and I have to buy the reason why I couldn't answer is I have to buy the extra controllers, because it only comes with one now.
Wow.
And so I have to
all
buy
only
like
come with
4
one.
other controllers, and they're $100 a damn pop.
Dang.
some-
That's an expensive game setup for you, Elliot.
But anyway, yeah, those are our Christmas struggles.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so
Good
a lot of
problems to
stuff here.
have.
What do we want to start off with?
Well, I thought this was interesting. There was a story on Reddit, a post on Reddit. It was, "Am I crazy or was the seller's agent out of line?" And here's how the story goes. So the poster said, "It's kind of been a crazy 24 hours, and I just don't even know where to start. My husband and I are working professionals looking to make a home purchase. His family is helping us with a down payment, and we're based in California. We started looking and we found the perfect home. Modern, recently upgraded, in a great location. We found our agent through Zillow. He had good reviews, and we weren't really expecting to like any of the properties enough to make a bid on. But some context. The property we found had been sitting on the market for close to 50 days now. Made a bid slightly under asking and decided to see where things would shake out. A couple hours later, I got a call from my lender informing me my realtor had called to inquire if I was underwritten approved, we had been pre-qualified, and if they'd be able to increase the loan size to 5% over the asking price as there were other offers. I texted my realtor, and it turns out it was the seller's realtor, and there were no other offers on the table. I was floored and pretty upset and told my realtors, but they didn't comment on it much beyond apologizing. And then in the final hours before our bid expired, we got a call from our realtors late at night saying that another bid had come in last minute at roughly our bid amount. And now they want us to counter at over asking price. This just doesn't add up. What are the odds that a bid would come in at the exact same time as ours and was set to expire at roughly the exact same price?
Because that's how the universe works.
Okay.
We just had one
Yes.
last week.
Yep.
Valero, right? We had it on market for 60 days, and like literally
Drop the price.
the
and
day
then-
the day of our Christmas party. Oh, the price was already dropped like
Okay.
weeks before. The day of our Christmas party, we got 3 offers.
We got it was
3 offers in one
no,
day.
No,
Like, it's
no
just the
offers
weirdest-
after about 60 days, and then all of a sudden we got blasted with 5 showings in 2 days, and then by Saturday evening I got a text message, from the listing agent saying that there were 3 offers. But now they were all below list, and some of them had concessions. So hey, you got to play the game. Who wants it the most? Then we ended up getting above list price.
Yeah, because we did a multiple counter, right?
And they all upped their offers very significantly, right? They all did the same thing. Hey, it's been on the market for a while. I'm going to submit an offer, see if I can get a smoking deal. And 3 people did that at one time.
And
No, I
then
mean,
we
4%
ended
at
up
that
getting
price
more.
point was like $50,000.
We ended
so
up
that's
getting
a lot.
more than
2,000
full
more
price.
than list price.
Yeah.
With no concessions.
Wow.
So,
So I think though from the poster's position as a home buyer in the marketplace, when that happens, they feel like they're being scammed.
Yeah.
Right.
And maybe-
So
distrustful.
first of all, they technically they should be able to ask for proof of the other bid. I mean, that's one thing that they can do inside that circumstance. But at the same time, too, I don't know about you guys. Over the course of my career, I mean, it sounds like you guys are going to be in alignment on this. I've had that happen so many times.
Yeah, it's not. It's like you'll have a property sitting on the market forever. This used to happen to us all the time, and then all of a sudden you don't get one, you get 3.
And no, I didn't do a price reduction, nothing. It's just like all of a sudden it's almost like some like down payment assistance program or something that like kicked in, and then nothing happened, right? But it literally changed like demand.
And
like
for
that
an
much.
agent, that's not always fun, right?
No, it sucks.
Because when you
See,
have
yeah.
3 people that want the same house when it's been on for a long time, and then you have those conversations, and you know the agents are going like, "What are you talking about? There's more offered. You serious?" And they feel like you're lying to them, but you're not.
sometimes it seems to happen right before your listing's going to expire and you need to go ask them for an extension. You're like, yes.
Yeah.
The real estate gods have been good to me.
Hey man, I'm gonna say you guys can make fun of me for this statement, but there's so many studies on this, and that is because one person likes it, energy that changes around the property. We're all way more connected, and I truly believe that it's just like the law of attraction kicks in on a property, and people's like chi and energy changes on it, and boom, right? I mean, there's like so many inventions have been created around the same time in opposite ends of the world. It's like all of these, these case studies around that, and it's a microcosm, but I genuinely think that, and I've thought that for years.
Well, thoughts vibrate, right?
Yeah.
I remember when we were sitting over here, years ago, 2-3 years ago, and something came out about Zavvy, right?
Yeah, I
And we
remember.
started reading about it, like, this sounds exactly like what we're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it wasn't the same, but
Yep.
but it was weird.
The
It's like-
concept.
They even had the same
Similar.
colors as us.
Well,
Yeah,
kind
it
of
started
like,
with the Z.
started with a Z.
And
like, what the
and
heck?
IREP started with us right around the same time, right? Like we were all within like months of each other. It was all really, really close, and none of us had conversations. So
Yeah, interesting for sure. But yeah, I mean, one of those fluke things that happens in real estate often. So I feel bad for those people, but it probably was legit. So I don't think they're crazy. They just got,
But it is weird that the
Stuck.
seller called their lender, or
yeah,
the seller's agent called their lender and asked if they could go up.
right.
yeah, well, I mean, in that particular circumstance too, right? That's a dual agency circumstance. That agent is, in my opinion, is walking a fine line inside of that circumstance, right? That's where like at that price point, I would challenge, and the market that they're in, they're probably a little bit more savvy. It wouldn't surprise me if this has been already turned into the real estate department there.
Well, speaking of real estate, the National Association of Realtors has come out with their 2023 predictions and about what they think is going to happen to the housing market. I know we made our predictions last week.
Yeah, I'm anxious to hear
Yeah, but I thought it'd be kind of fun just to kind of roll through what they're predicting. So they're predicting that sales will go down just a little, about 6.8% from the 5.13 million that they're expecting that will hit in 2022. So they're thinking that next year we'll do about 4.78 million.
That's shocking, actually. That's
sales.
way better than I thought.
So sales a little bit down. They're expecting that the annual median home price will increase by just 0.3%. So we had
There's a lot of things I thought they were projecting depreciation, not that's saying appreciation.
I mean,
Well, let's take this with a
across
grain
the
of
United
salt.
States.
This is
Right.
an aggregate. So if you look at specific markets that will outperform, some will underperform. So that's
Sure.
going to shake out. In 2022, so far, we've had a 9.6% appreciation gain.
Huh.
So definitely going
That
to be
all happened
interesting.
the first 6 months.
I was gonna say that
Yeah, it
happened,
did.
or like the first 90 days. I mean, I think there's a lot of markets here, and I mean, maybe it's because people were falsely pricing properties, but there's a lot of properties that have already adjusted, like over 10% that I can think of in certain pockets, like in Scottsdale and certain things like that, where maybe it was a little lofty of a price before, but they probably would have got it. And then now they put themselves behind the 8 ball, and now they're not only not getting that, they've price reduced far below that, and they're still not getting it.
Well, Keith has many a story about circumstances like that because people are coming to us for cash offers that had higher offers in the past and didn't take them.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Happens.
Share that one with us. You don't have to say the name of the property or anything.
This is, it's pretty mind-blowing to me, and I'm sure the sellers are probably getting a bat and beating themselves over the head right now, but hey, it is what it is. So there was a property that came into the system. They got initial offers. Seller decided to list on the open market. I think they were originally above $400,000, but when they went under contract, the property was listed at $390,000. Had to buy a cash buyer. Cash buyer asks for a final price of $365,000 during the home inspection, and
The house need a little TLC, right?
And they said no to the buyer. So deal fell apart, canceled. We weren't a part of this. This is the story and the timelines as I know it. Then about a month and a half later, they're reaching back out to us asking, hey, is there any other cash offers available within your system? Got them got a couple different cash offers. One of them came in at $25,000 all cash. Seller didn't take it. Kept being listed. Now, in November, hey, get an updated offer.
Wow.
Sellers need to get this thing moved. They're pretty much out of time. They did end up accepting our cash plus offer structure, but that all cash buyer, just because of what we're seeing with the way their net yields work, came in at $290,000.
wow.
And
$100,000 adjustment in 6 months.
They had significant and multiple opportunities to get more money up front, and they just kept wanting to chase the market and hope and pray something changed. And that's not one story. This happens a lot.
Right.
And hopefully I'm in alignment with the NAR. I don't think, to me, that's good. Hopefully people will start, coming down into reality and pricing their properties where they're not having to do a $50,000 price reduction because they were
pie in the sky.
Yeah, exactly. They were living in the past. So I think 2023 is probably going to be a much better market for buyers and sellers because there's not going to be hopefully less unrealistic things going on both sides.
I love how you just said that sellers are living in the past. That is
So true.
really a really good soundbite. Okay, so what's going to happen to rents? Well, in 2022, rents went up by 7%. NAR is predicting that in 2023, they will rise by 5%.
So
That's
my
kind of
thoughts.
surprising. I was thinking
Yep.
the rents were going to go down.
Really, I thought I feel like they're going to go up because it's usually usually trails.
I don't keep an eye on it. Have an opinion.
We have these institutional buyers that are.
All I can go off is that clearly they think they're going down too, because otherwise that's why their offers are a little more conservative than they
Right.
were. So
But rents usually trail inflation, right? So like the inflation goes up, all that, and then rents hit after that, then they trail up. So I don't know.
It hasn't been a normal inflation though.
No,
Because usually
Yeah,
the
True.
stock market would be flying during inflation, and
it's not.
it's
Yeah.
not either. Okay, so foreclosures, this has been a hot topic over the past few years,
Sure has.
especially with all of the moratoriums and all of this and that. But they're predicting that foreclosure rates will remain at historically low levels,
Oh.
less than 1%.
I feel like it's going to be less than 1%, other than certain markets, right? I think that's going to be very market specific because there's a lot of people that bought in 2022 in the Phoenix metro here. Their ass is underwater.
yeah, but they got
Well-
3.5% interest
Agreed.
rates.
Yeah,
They're not-
exactly. So the
they're not
Agreed.
underwater really.
affordability is there. And yeah, there was actually Black Knight just came out and said 25% of all FHA and VA buyers that purchased a home in 2022 are underwater. So we know that the FHA and VA are definitely teetering, which you can imagine. I mean, shifting markets we're seeing. Phoenix has shifted by about 9%. Other markets have shifted as well. So, okay. So then the last prediction that NAR had is that this is on interest rates. the 30-year fixed rate will settle at 5.7%.
If we get there, I think that's a great sign. We get underneath 6%, things will move.
I agree. Okay, so they also had the top 10 markets, and I cut off number 10 of my slide. Well, guess. So the top markets that they predict will outperform in 2023. Who do you think is the number one market? Or what?
Tampa.
Tampa. Okay. No, you're wrong. Tampa's not even on the top 9. It could
Really?
be the 10th, but I cut it off.
I'm just going off of, I think it was Zillow or something, right? That said, Zillow said 2022 was going to be the year for Tampa, so I'm remembering wrong. Okay, sorry.
So number one market is that they believe will outperform is Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay. That was
Anna.
And then that's followed by Raleigh, North Carolina, Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, Fayetteville Springs, Rogers, Missouri. Interesting. Greenville, Anderson, Malden, South Carolina, which was interesting. There was also some data released by Black Knight on equity gains, and the number one place for equity gains was Florida, like $71,000 per borrower in 2022. And then the tie for 2 and 3 were the Carolinas. North Carolina and South Carolina, on average, both had $48,000 in equity.
Because they can still afford to go up, right? Their average prices prior to 2022 was still lower, right?
Yeah, it was really reasonable.
And the quality of house that you get over there, I think that's why you have a lot of that's still going to continue to go up. And, Texas, obviously the only thing you have to worry about in Texas is the dang property taxes there are super high. But, I mean, you can get a slamming house in Texas for $500 to $750.
So I agree, and I watch a lot of house porn on Instagram. I love houses in Texas and in North Carolina, South Carolina. I'll show them to Jason. I'll be like, "Look at this! This is so awesome."
Yeah, you spend $1 million or you're getting a pretty dope pad.
Yeah, you should move. Okay, so let's see. So 5 was Greenville, South Carolina. 6, Charleston, South Carolina. 7, Huntsville, Alabama. 8, Jacksonville, Florida, and 9 was San Antonio, Texas.
Did you look it up, Jeff?
I did. Number 10 is Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh,
you know
Tennessee.
What? These are all markets that I think are primed and ready to grow. There's not as much drama going on in a lot of those cities, and I think that now that people are way more transient, I mean, I know that there's a lot of this get your booty back to work, into the office to work, kind of thing, but I'm curious if some of this is still going on because the spread has been happening for a while. And sounds like, based on that list to me, that's what's going on.
Yeah, I definitely think we're going to see increased institutional buyer activity in
Alabama.
Second quarter of next year.
Yeah, let's focus on those markets.
Especially in those markets. Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys.
We should be focusing on those markets.
Let's read off, and I want to take turns here. I've got it in front of me, but I'll share the screen. But let's read off the 7 ways to go broke selling real estate.
Okay.
All right, Elliot, you want to take number 1?
Yeah. Put a business plan in place, but when things get hard, change the plan.
Yeah, why stick to a plan if it's going to get hard?
I know. I think we should actually talk about these real quick, though, too, because this is, part of
Digest
what we do is
it.
entrepreneurial here, and so obviously this is the ways to go broke. So if you're going to constantly be chasing the next shiny object, the next best thing, how efficient are you ever going to become at the plan that you decided was the best plan that you wanted to move forward with?
Hey, we go after shiny objects all the time.
Bullshit. No, we don't.
We're pretty committed to
Yeah,
our
we say
plan.
super focused.
We are very committed. But yeah,
I go after shiny objects then. Sorry.
No, you don't. I've been working next to you for 15 years.
Shiny objects.
The Mustangs.
So here's another way to go broke selling real estate. Keith, do you want to take this one?
All right. Yep. Number 2, have a CRM, but don't use it. Definitely do not check in or follow up with your past clients in Sphere.
Nope.
Why would you do that?
Never.
Well, and not only that, how about we need to just be pumping this into the real estate community? I forget I need to memorize this stat, but it's something like this. 80% of all people are happy with their realtor, but 80% of the people don't use their same realtor because they can't remember their name after 4 years.
Oh, yes, I know that stat too. I mean, not off the top of my head, but I've heard it, and it's startling.
It's
just like, wow.
This is the egotistical realtor. Like They know me. They will call me when they're ready.
But
Yeah.
they
And
definitely
I'm
don't
never going to talk
remember
to them
you.
ever. So
That was like a JP Sears delivery. You know how he's always
Yeah.
like, yeah, don't ever use your CRM.
Exactly.
Definitely don't follow up. That's how you're going to be real successful.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why we should be delivering these in our best pun voices.
We're trying. All
all right, number 3, lead generate when you feel like it. If it doesn't work right away, just stop. After all, it isn't working.
Good
Yeah.
things take time, right? If you're gonna lead generate, you got to keep at it over time. It's not going to work right away.
I
This
mean, shoot, we hammer that, well,
All the
to
time.
ourselves, to our
Member base.
our people, our employees, our member base. At minimum,
But this
do
is great.
something
I mean,
for
this is
60 to 90 days before you
even expect.
to or to even have that thought, is this working?
Yeah.
This is great for these little kids out there that have everything delivered to them right away. The Amazon experience every
Dude.
day.
Yep.
I give it
Instant
60 to 90
gratification.
days.
Everything is
I can order it
instant.
up by
the-
tomorrow.
Instant
Buy,
gratification.
buy now, pay later is all out there.
There is no Klarna option
I
for
hate
your
to
real
say it.
estate success.
Yeah. I think the Klarna option.
I hate to say it, but
Make
that's why
commission
some of these kids nowadays, or whatever generation we want to call it, that hey, I went to college, I need to make $100,000 a year.
You know what's really
They think
surprising
that
to
it's,
me?
you get your papers and it's instant gratification around that.
This was just a couple years ago that we found out that there's commission advances.
Oh, yes.
that was-
Yeah.
like we realized that a couple years
Yep,
ago.
I
talking
never
to
even knew about it.
Stuart. And yeah, it's just it's insane to me that people actually take commission advances.
Yep.
That is baffling. Hold on, before we go on that, because I think that this is one to me that's probably one of the most dynamic ones,
Which one?
and that we just read in the
okay.
lead generating, right? So because this is a real stat that the average real estate agent lead generates less than 1 hour a week on average.
A week?
A week.
Does that
Yeah.
count Facebook? Being
Exactly.
being a
That's
badass,
on
being a
average.
badass
But I
on
mean-
Facebook, mom.
Keep in mind too, based on those numbers, there's 1.6 million hours of realtors per week, right? So there's a lot of those. Half of those people don't do any business whatsoever, so they're clearly not lead generating, right? So I think that's a skewed number. With that said, right, this to me is how you solve the problem. And with these less transactions that we were talking about beforehand, get on purpose, communicate your value proposition, and do it religiously for a long period of time. And don't give up until you succeed, right? It's like that rap and preacher Eric Davis. When you want success so bad, you want to breathe, then you'll have it.
All right, number 4. I'll take number 4. So if you want to go broke selling real estate, never write out your systems or your standard operating
Oh, yes.
procedures. Keep those bad boys in your head so you'll never hire or outsource help. I mean, great way to just get
Yeah.
yourself overwhelmed so you can only ever handle a certain amount of people and you will never be able to grow and scale your business.
This is a big one because to me, this is where you go from a realtor to a practitioner, right? What you're talking about there, where you're going to be documenting your systems, being very clear on your process, or excuse me, clear on your systems and documenting your processes. Then you're jumping into that entrepreneur. You're building a business at that particular point. So to me, when you start to do that, that's a good sign that your business is heading in the right direction.
Yeah. So if you want to go broke, who wants
Don't do
to take number 5?
Read it, Jay. We're going rewind.
Don't utilize video marketing, the most powerful form of marketing, because of the way you look and sound.
Is that one so mean? Just don't use video because of the way
Yeah.
you look and the way you sound.
You're
Don't use it.
ugly and you sound like a chipmunk, so stop.
Well, and not only that, like we were just talking about that in preparation for this show, right? Think about it like this: if you were to do a reel or a video or a post, and the engagement only gets seen by 100 people, 200 people, right? Let's face it, that's obviously a very low performing video in that circumstance. Well, a lot of people, they'll do that here or there and be like, oh, my stuff doesn't have engagement or get acknowledged. Well, learn how to do that. But I also wanted to challenge you like this. If you had an opportunity to go and talk to 200 people in a room, as Kayla was pointing out, how awesome would that be and how on fire would you be to do that, right? Let's compare it and put things in proper context to make sure that you're setting yourself up for success. It's still 200 eyeballs. Eyeballs into your balls, right?
Yeah, I think that what holds most people back, I mean, myself included, is the way we look and the way we sound. You know, or feeling like we're not going to be intelligent enough, or we don't know our subject matter enough, or whatever. But all right, let's move on. I think this one was made for Keith. I see him saying this one. So what's the 6th way to go broke selling real estate?
So if you don't want to be successful, stop following up with your leads. If they're not ready to buy, sell, or invest in real estate right now, screw them. Don't waste your time.
That's right.
That almost should have been number 1.
I don't know. That one makes me laugh. But yeah.
Oh, and that is absolutely the fastest way to go broke. Don't call your leads back.
Yep.
Or don't call them. Leave them alone.
If they're not ready right away.
Keep spending that money on all those lead sources and
Unless they're bad leads.
Yeah.
Don't call the bad leads back.
I mean, unless they're ready to like buy tomorrow, screw them.
Again, what we hit with our employees and our Zoodealio peeps, the gold is in the follow-up.
100% for follow-up.
Yes.
All right, what do we got?
Okay, number 7.
Okay. Hang out with the broke agents. Commiserate about commiserate about how sales are low, that your broker isn't giving you what you need, and all of your leads are bad. That's a good one.
It's always your broker's fault.
It's your broker's fault. Your leads are bad. There's no sales happening.
It's all the broker's
just
fault.
go hang out with all of the other agents
that
think
should
all
be
of
on
those
that should be on the
things.
list. Change your go hang your license with a new broker every 2 months.
Don't get me started on that.
That should have been one.
There's a lot of them out there like that.
Dude, they think that by changing their where they hang their license, I'm going to be successful.
I haven't been successful. I've been like traveling, not doing crap. So I'm going to go over to this brokerage over here. Maybe I can travel and don't do crap and make money over here.
You know, it's shocking. It is shocking how we see that play out. But if you want to stay broke, hang out with broke people who have a negative attitude.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say, well, the other thing too also is how damn expensive it is to keep moving.
Yeah.
New cards, new signs, new whatever else.
Dude, that's a part that...
Well, those agents don't even get cards or anything like that. They don't have signs because they don't list anything.
It is such a painful process most of the time if you're running your business as a business to move it, right? Because not only the expenses that Keith had mentioned, but like, I mean, especially if you're doing it and maybe you're trying to do it for a different split, or you're trying to go, you know, you're paying a monthly office fee, whatever the reason is inside of that circumstance. I mean, there's got to be a really bona fide reason to realign your entire vision in that area for me. That's why, I mean, I've been licensed for 17 years now, and I've been with 3, maybe 4 brokerages the whole time, and one of them was because I hated I had ownership in the place, and I hated him so much that it was either do that or we were going to get into a fight.
That would have been bad because you are not a fighter.
Well, no, and he's actually a badass too, but he probably would have whipped my ass. But
well, there you have it. Those are the 7 ways that you can go broke selling real estate. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. You are not going to want to miss next week's special where we're going to go over the stories that defined 2022 in real estate.
Thank you guys. Bye.